Hello, everyone. I'm just going to give people a few minutes to pop on here, and then I'll get started. Yeah. Hi, guys. So I guess I'll start. First of all, hello to everybody. I want to apologize right off the hop because some Tuesday mornings I wake up very scattered, I guess you could say, as a medium. It's like trying to control my thoughts that are being interrupted by other people's thoughts, and it can be extremely overwhelming. So I'm a little bit out there today. Anyway, I want to thank everybody that came to Messages with Spirit on Saturday. It was absolutely probably one of my favorite groups that I've done so far. It was like everybody that came knew each other and had been friends forever. Really good atmosphere. Lots of laughs and tears and some really powerful messages that were passed through. So that was really fun, and thank you to everybody that came. I need to let you guys all know that there's a chance over the next week or two, one of these Tuesdays, I might not be able to come live here, either next Tuesday or the Tuesday after, because I am moving yet again. Big pipe burst in the basement. I think I told you guys about this before, and so the mad scramble of trying to find a new place. And for those of you that used to live in the same neighborhood as me, guess what? I'm coming back to that neighborhood because I didn't want to have to change my kids' schools again. So my choices were this neighborhood or that neighborhood, and that just happened to be where I could find a place that was big enough for my family. So yeah, we'll be going back. What else did I have to say today? I don't know. I can't even think straight, so I'm just going to head straight into the calls. All right, guys, here we go. Hi. Hello? Oh, she hung up too quick. I didn't even see the number. Okay, that sucks. Here we go. Hello?
I didn't even see the number. Hello?
Hi.
Oh, that sucks. Oh, I still had your video playing, so
Yes. Can you make sure that you turn me down in the background, please?
Oh, sorry. Turn on speaker. There you go.
There we go. Hi. So you're calling for the free readings?
Yes.
Okay, awesome. What is your first name?
Kasia.
Kasia? Okay. So as I usually do for the first reading, can I get you to do a little grounding exercise for me? Mm-hmm. So if I can get you to sit somewhere where your feet are flat on the floor. Okay. And then I would like you to take a deep breath, but I want you to picture that deep breath starting at your big toe and slowly bringing it all the way up through your body, and then blow it straight through the phone at me, and then just give me 1 minute to focus.
Okay.
Okay, give me a minute to just make sense of these characters. Hold on a second. Okay, so I say characters because I have a gentleman that's coming through very charismatically. Like letting me know right away he's the life of the party. Like this is how he introduces himself. Like, okay, we can start now. I'm here. Okay, so hold on a sec. One of the ways that I ask Spirit to validate who they are is by telling me how they passed away. So if I can get them to stand still long enough, then I can get him to do that. So hold on a sec. Okay, so he's like, I'm doing that now. I'm dancing instead of the wiggle. So he shows me the wiggle, which is my symbol for somebody who possibly had limited mobility here in the physical world and can move free and clear on the other side. He also shows me the body scan, which is my symbol that there was more than one problem going on at the end of his life. but then he snaps his fingers and he's like, and it was so quick and easy and over, and thank goodness. And he's like, and ta-da, I'm pain free.
The only person who's the only male that really passed away that I can remember is my great-grandfather. But I only knew him at the end of his life. I didn't know him
at the beginning.
Beforehand. Yeah, so, and I don't know if he was really hyper, because at the end of his life, the only thing that really sticks out to me is he used to run around and tell everyone that me and my little brother were his little angels. So that's the only thing I can remember about him. Otherwise, I don't really, and then there was my Uncle George who passed away, but... Well,
you can share this with your family, because this gentleman, if this would be your great-grandfather, that would make sense with the attire he's showing me, because, this is going to sound crazy, but maybe it's just my Canadian funniness. You remember the old cracker guy with, the hat and the top hat and the suit and the little cane thing, that kind of dressed up, ta-da, dancing kind of figure? That's how he comes through.
Mm-hmm.
So hold on.
Does he point to his head at all? Because he did have, I think he had Alzheimer's or dementia. I can't remember. But I know he forgot everyone except for me and my little brother.
Aw. He didn't point to his head. But then again, what he is acknowledging is that there was multiple things that were wrong in his body that... Mm-hmm. Hold on a sec. He's trying to talk over me at the same time, and I'm trying to take him back to that same symbol. He's like, the important thing to know is that I got here real easy and real quick. He's got
I do remember that, in my mind, I don't know, because, like I said, I was really young when he passed, but in my mind, what I remember is seeing him all the time, and then all of a sudden he was gone. So that could be why he's doing it. I don't know if he necessarily passed quick, but that's what I remember.
That would make sense to me. Okay, so let me just figure out what he's got to say. He's letting me know that he came to bring forward some other people for you, but he had to come first because the party doesn't start till he gets here. So he's bringing forward the lady that I almost feel like would be underneath of him. So this could possibly be like your grandmother, but he doesn't make me feel like he's related. So almost like it would be on the other parent's side. Do you know what I mean?
Well, I mean, I don't know if anybody... Well, yeah, I guess my grandmother passed away, but that was before I was born on my dad's side.
They usually don't care if you know them.
What I can think of is, my grandmother on my grandfather's side passed away, I think, last year now.
Okay, well, I'm going to get her to identify how she passed so that you can now know clearly who this is. She takes deep breaths, which is my symbol that she can breathe free and clear on the other side. Mm-hmm. She does take me to the head, but more in a sense of pain, I think. I feel this pressure in the head. Slow down. Okay, so that was interesting. I was just told that the youngins ain't coming. And I'm like, what does that mean? And he's like, we're here to deliver a message, so let's get to it. I just got told. I would think that this would be...
Well, then this would be I would assume this would be a lot of the people on my grandfather's side of the family, because my grandfather's side of the family is very rough and tough. And
okay, that's how they're coming...
So that would make sense, because if that would be my grandmother, that would be how she would talk to someone.
So they have a message for you, nonetheless. Sometimes people call through and they need to speak to a specific person. Sometimes the message is what's the most important. And always I see that it's whenever people call in, it's not always the person that they're expecting that comes forward. Who comes forward is the person that can deliver the message that you need to hear, if that makes sense.
Yeah. Oh, I guess, too, my Tante Carol died on my dad's side, but she died of a stroke, so it wouldn't make sense that she's pointing to the head.
Well, stroke...
She did deal with addiction in the, real world, I guess.
Okay. I want to... I want to let you know that I think that these are people that you haven't even met yet. They're not going into that you haven't met before, I should say, that passed before you were born, because they're not going into specifics about how they passed, like other than little generalities. She did make it clear she can breathe free and clear on that side, and she's repeating that as I'm speaking right now. She's like, you let them know I can breathe. Her family will know who I am. But the point is, they have something to say to you. So
that
what?
Makes sense. Because lately I've been like really feeling presence is strong, and I keep telling my husband, I'm like, they're trying to tell me something, and he keeps looking at me going, you're crazy, and I'm like, no, I'm not.
Well, you were the first person that got through today, so there's a reason for everything. So just give me a moment to concentrate on what they're saying here, okay? Basically, the message is you need to do this. They show me giving you a kick in the butt, but not in the same way that they usually do. It's not like oh, you screwed up, you need a kick in the butt. It's more like you need a push. They're like, you need to know that even though you're afraid to do this going forward, that you need to. Because it feels extremely beneficial towards your life. It's like it takes you out of a rut. She's showing me papers at the same time, so I don't know if that's like signing up for school or if this is actually like a lawsuit of some sort. But I can feel that there's some apprehension and some fear about going ahead with this. And they're like, no, the time is right. We got your back. You need to know that if you do this, that things will fall in line. That doesn't mean that it's going to be easy and perfect, but it means that they've got your back and that this is the right path. Have you been thinking of going back to school?
Yeah, actually, my daughter was just born in October, and she got sick, so that's been what's holding me back. She was really sick when she was born and had some problems with her breathing. She was put on oxygen, so
well,
that's what's been holding me back.
I think that's why they're letting you know that they got your back, that, you know, they're going to make sure she's okay, and this is the right time. It's almost like if you put it off too much more, it's going to be just that much more of a challenge later. And the timing feels absolutely right. And they're so proud of you. Hold on a second here. So they show me a couple things really quickly. They go to your husband and they kind of shake his hand and go, he's doing a good job. And he has your back as well. And I feel like your grandma just told you to be nicer to him sometimes. It's almost like he's kind of getting the brunt of it, but he's doing a pretty good job despite of that.
Yeah, that makes sense.
She's like trying to reassure you that he's got your back and that you two are a team and together that this will be extremely beneficial for your life and now is the right time. That's your message today. And it feels like it's very time induced or very time specific. Like if you wait 2 more weeks, it'll be too late. Does that make sense?
Yeah, that does.
Because she's like, get on it, get on it, get on it. That's all we need to tell you today is you got this. Everything's going to be okay. And go for it. And they're starting to pull their energy back. So that was an interesting reading, I have to say, but I hope it was helpful nonetheless.
Yes, it was. Thank you.
And definitely talk to your family. See if they can confirm like the top hat and the dancing cane thing and the lady with the breathing issues that would be either slightly underneath of him or to the side of him.
Yeah, no, that makes sense. Like I said, now that I'm thinking about it too, there was a family member, but I can't remember who exactly he was, that my mom always talks about, who had a lot of energy and was always playing with the kids and things like that, but I can't remember how he's related to us, so.
Well, I gotta tell you, this is the first time that anyone has come through in that attire, so that should hopefully narrow it down for you.
Okay, thank you.
No problem. Good luck, hon.
Bye.
Bye-bye. Oh, they hung up too quick. Okay, so interesting caller. Definitely interesting. Spirit has their own mind. They decide what's going to be said and what's not going to be said. It's very interesting. Okay, so I'm ready for the next caller. Here we go. Hello?
Hello?
Hi.
Hi.
Were you calling for the free readings?
Yes.
Awesome. Okay, so what is your first name?
Amanda?
Amanda. Okay. So I'm going. I don't feel like I almost have to need you to do this, but I'm going to get you to do it anyway. The grounding exercise for me, if you don't mind.
Okay.
So with your feet flat on the floor, I'd like you to take a deep breath. Picture it coming from or starting at your big toe and slowly pulling it up through your body and then blowing it straight through the phone at me, and then just give me 1 minute to focus. Okay, so there's definitely a lady present. There's a couple more people behind her, but she's like, she was step forward as soon as you said your name, actually. So give me a second so I can get her to validate how she passed away so we know who she is. So right away, I almost want to say that this is Grandma because I heard Grandma right away. She like showed me the Grandma Gush, like the, oh my God, I just love it so much. That emotion. Okay, give me a sec. She's like taking a deep breath. She's like, I'm okay. She shows me the all over the body that there's no more pain.
Okay.
And okay, so slow down. She
up there.
Pardon me?
I said a few grandmas up there. So.
Okay, so okay, so slow down, Grandma. So she's backing me up. She's like, okay, so I'm breathing fine. I'm not in any pain anymore. And I feel like there was a diagnosis because she showed me the C, which is my symbol for either cancer or some other type of debilitating disease. But then she shows me it's almost like I was diagnosed and I was given about a year, but I only made it like 6 months or something like this.
Yeah, it's probably Grandma Lanny.
Because she snaps her fingers. She's like, thank goodness that didn't drag on for as long as it could have.
Yeah, she has lung cancer.
That would make sense with the breathing. She's like, she just goes right to you and she's like, look at how beautiful you are. Look at how beautiful you are. As if she hasn't seen you in some time. Like as if, has it been like 5-6 years or so since she passed away?
Been probably 3 or 4.
Okay. Because she's talking about how much you've changed and grown up. And she's like playing with your hair. And so you're definitely have, I don't know about grown up, but changed a lot in the last few years.
Yeah.
She's showing me a lot of physical exercise. Have you been like working out recently or training for something? I'm not sure why I'm seeing all this exercise.
No, but trying to get better with after having kids and stuff. So.
She's like putting you on the track. She's like, just run. Like I'm seeing running. Were you ever a runner or a long distance runner?
Just in like sports, just like basketball and volleyball.
Okay. Because there's definitely a feeling of like encouragement. Like it's almost like she's trying to reassure you and saying, don't be stressed, just do what you love to do. Do you know what I mean?
Uh-huh.
So she's like, okay, I'm not going to take up too much time. I got a lot I could say, but I'm not going to take up too much time because there's other people I want to say hi. So the gentleman steps forward. Okay, so hold on. He snaps his fingers, so his passing was either sudden or unexpected. I'm also seeing white lighters around him. So white lighters are my symbol for, basically they're like angelic beings of pure white light that surround people who either take responsibility for their own passing, committed suicide, or their passing was tragic or sudden in a way that there was a lot of healing needed for the family that was still here and for the soul that crossed over. Hold on.
Might be my brother.
Okay, hold on. Slow down, slow down. So he wears rose-colored glasses as he steps forward, which is my symbol for when we see things differently on that side than we did when we were here in the physical world. But he wears them a little bit differently. It's interesting because it's like he's saying, okay, I see how I could have done that life differently, but I lived my life. He's like, let me tell you, wild child. Slow it down, slow it down, slow it down. Okay, so I was just told that I got that half right. So he keeps showing me, I'm going to go back to the symbols specifically, because he keeps showing me the symbol of the rose-colored glasses, like I said, means that they see it differently on that side. But then there's a feeling of no regrets, of I lived this, my life, my way. Like, I don't regret it. I don't know how to explain this. Hold on a second. He's going a little fast and making this rather complicated for me. And even when I say that, I feel he's amused. So I don't know if that's part of the personality or what. Hold on.
Oh.
I know why he's saying this. Now he's clearly talking about everybody who's talking about how much of his life he missed. He missed this and he missed that and he didn't get to do this and he didn't get to do that. But he's
my brother. He just passed away a couple months ago.
I see.
And he was only 27.
He wants everybody left here knowing that he lived his life the way that he wanted to live his life and that he has no regrets. But he definitely feels like it's not like he meant to for this to happen, but
yeah.
It's not like he set out to pass away or anything, but at the same time, it's like, wow, time of my life. Like, if you think about a baseball game, how you slide into home, you know what I mean? He's like, that was me, man. Like, I lived every second of it.
Oh, good.
He won't specifically
he had a heart attack is what happened. So.
Interesting. Okay, I was just going to say, because he won't specifically go into detail with me about how he passed away. He just kept snapping his fingers, saying it was quick. Normally, I would assume that to mean heart attack, but if him being so young, I'm like, what does that mean? What does that mean? And he wouldn't say anything different. Okay.
Yeah.
He still takes some responsibility for this. I'm not sure how to explain that, but he's making me feel like he kind of knew better, and he pushed the limit. Does that make sense?
Possibly, yeah. We didn't know some stuff, and we just found out like the week of that he was having heart issues. I don't know if he knew some stuff and didn't say anything.
I feel like he just knew he needed to take it easy, but he didn't. It was like, nobody's going to tell me what I can and can't do, and bam, then he's on the other side.
Yeah, he was the day before he passed away. He was down doing some projects. And we were kind of like, take it easy.
That would be the That would be the sense of responsibility that he's coming forward with. He keeps showing me the keys to a vehicle and the passing down of a vehicle that he feels like I feel like he wants to acknowledge.
Probably his yellow truck. We're having some issues on what to do with it.
He's showing me it being passed down and giving his approval. Hold on a sec.
Yeah, we're trying to decide if we're going to sell it or exactly what was it. Or it could be his old project truck.
He's showing me handing the keys to somebody that I feel like would be in the family and saying, it's yours. Almost like somebody who had admired it for a while. Or it's like passing on the flame is almost the way that I see it. You know, the Olympics going on, how they pass the torch to the next person. That's kind of what he's doing with these keys. He's giving it to another male, and he's like, it's yours now. It's your turn now. It would make sense if there's a project that we fix up this vehicle or something.
Yeah, he had an old 1964 that he was kind of tinkering with, and his kind kind of fit me project-wise, but me and my husband are gonna want to work on it and finish it up and get it completely done.
That's his way. He just showed me the thank you symbol because you need to know how much that means to him and that his soul will be there with you every step of the way while you guys are working on that. His soul will be there with you.
Okay.
He says it in he says it in kind of like a comedic way, almost like, well, you ain't thinking you're going to touch my truck unless I'm there, right?
Oh. Yeah,
he's like giving hugs to Mom, but he's also putting the white blanket around her shoulders, which is my symbol for somebody who has health or stress issues. And even as I say that, he's making me feel like she's so stressed she's going to make herself sick, if that makes sense.
Okay.
He's like, she's got to know I'm okay. She's got to know I'm okay. Hold on. And then he shows me all these women that come forward that are like, he's like, look, I had all these women that greeted me on the other side that were there before him. So it feels like there's 3 or 4 different grandmother figures. They could be like great grandmothers or like great aunties or something, but there's definitely 3 or 4 specifically women that are stepping forward.
Yeah, we have a grandmother up there, and then he's got grandmother up there that recently had passed in the last 2 of them have recently passed in the last 5 years. So, and then there's one that's been up there for quite some time.
He takes me to July, hun. Hold on a second. He very specifically showed me July. And I feel like he's there with bells on. Like, I don't know if it's somebody's birthday or if what the heck, but he's showing me July and that his soul will be attending. Like there is some kind of get together or group event that's going on in July.
Well, my husband's side of the family, we do a 4th of July thing, but also my brother and my dad is his birthday in July.
There you go. Hold on. He took me to your dad, and then I just felt everything go quiet. Hold on a second. It's almost like your dad's handling this a little better, but I think your dad knows that your brother's soul is with him. He's like, your brother's standing with him, and I just feel this peace go over your dad. Like, okay, I can do this today.
Yeah, well, I know my dad's had a little bit of a hard time with it, but I also have a stepdad too, so it was in our life for a long time too. So it may be my stepdad. I'm not sure.
He specifically shows me if I'm going to be specific to help narrow this down. He takes me into a garage, so they're definitely car folk, hey? Like tinkering and mechanics, and he's taking me into the garage, and I feel like one of these dads, I don't know if this is bio dad or stepdad, but have been in the garage, and then there's this suddenness of peace that comes over him, and your brother is just wanting to validate that that's real, that really was his soul that was there at that moment. So maybe talk to them and find out which one of them that happened to, because he's making it very, very clear, like he's pushing it in my face over and over and over again. It feels very important.
I know my stepdad, after my brother had passed, he went down and finished a project that he didn't get to completely finish. So,
in a garage?
Yep, down in our garage shop.
There we go. So please let him know that your brother's soul was there with him, helping to finish that, and that sense of peace that your dad felt was real, because his soul was right with him.
Okay.
He's pulling his energy back. He really just wanted to let everybody know that he was okay on that sign, or on that side. That he's like, tell Mom to just chill out, or she's going to make herself sick. Like, he's like getting her up in the morning and opening all the windows and like going, come on, let's go. Like, she's got to get back into her normal routines again.
Okay.
And he's showing that he will send her signs. I feel like he's been trying, but sometimes when grief is so thick, we don't see the signs.
Okay.
He's like, why do you think my terrible music keeps coming across her stereo? Almost like they had very different taste in music, and I feel like he keeps playing his music around her, and she's getting irritated.
I met him.
Aw. Well, please know he's with you, and I hope that helped.
Yeah, it does a lot.
All right. You have a wonderful day.
All right, thank you.
Okay, bye-bye.
Okay, bye-bye.
Oops, okay. Hello?
Hello?
Hi.
Hi.
Were you calling for the free readings?
Yes.
Okay, what's your first name?
Cassie?
Cassie. Okay. This is going to be interesting because I just pressed hang up on the other phone and bam, you were there. You were on speakerphone and everything. So, Spirit was like, she's next. Okay, Cassie. So if I can just get you to do grounding exercise for me. Are you there?
Yeah.
Okay.
Yeah.
So if I could get you to put both feet flat on the floor. And then I want you to take a deep breath and picture that deep breath starting at your big toe, slowly pulling it all the way up through your body, and then blow it straight through the phone at me, and then just give me 1 minute to focus. Okay. It's always so interesting to me how people choose to step through this curtain that I call it into my view. There's a couple of people. There's a gentleman that steps forward, and I'm seeing a lot of yeah, see, there's the child right there. Because I'm seeing a lot of Sesame Street and young kid stuff, and he's as he steps forward, he's stepping over the kids' toys and whatnot. Hold on a sec. He also has a lady with him. Slow down. You guys gotta go one at a time. So the lady does a couple of things very quickly, and I think that means that everything happened very quickly at the same time, or very suddenly at the end, because she took a deep breath, which is my symbol that spirit can breathe free and clear on the other side, so there could have been a breathing issue here in the physical world. Then she took me to the head, which is my symbol for either something to do with the head, either stroke, Alzheimer's, dementia, aneurysm, sometimes a communication issue, and then she snaps her fingers and shows me that it ended very quickly. There's also something to do with a mobility issue, but again, it's at the very end. Almost like if somebody had a stroke and then lived and then had another stroke, if that makes sense.
Possibly. I know my fiance's great-grandmother had mobile issues.
And do you know about the head, how that would make sense with the head, though?
I'm honestly not 100% sure.
Okay. So when I ask her for clarification, she just shows me that the man is there as well. So I'm going to let him validate. Hold on. He snaps his fingers, so his passing was sudden or unexpected. Definitely takes me to the chest, so I would immediately think heart attack or some kind of breathing issue. But he talks about it in almost like a diagnosis sense. Like everything just happened so quick. 1 minute I'm here, and we're all freaking out, and then I'm gone. So quick.
Yeah.
Who is this to you, hun?
I would say my husband's papa.
Interesting. Is he with you right now?
My husband?
Yes.
No, he's at work.
Interesting that his family is the one that's coming through.
Well, we were all really close to his papa.
I see. Because his papa is very insistent that we let the rest of the family know that the lady is here as well and that she's okay on that side. Sometimes I think Spirit gets a little cocky because they know that their family can watch these videos later. So it's like they just bypass you and talk to the rest of the family. Like, they'll know who she is. Don't worry about it.
Yeah.
So he's making a point of letting me know that he's spending time with the kids. That's why he's showing me, even as he steps forward, he's like showing me stepping over kids' toys and everything about the kids, and he's making it making me seem like it's very important to tell you that he's spending this time with the kids and that he's getting to know them on the other side, even though he's not here in the physical world. That would tell me that either you or your husband is like had a hard time dealing with the fact that your kids aren't growing up with him, if that makes sense.
Yeah, that makes 100% sense.
So he shows me two, but then like here in the physical world, I think, and then he shows me one more separated that I almost want to think is still to come, or that is on the other side for some reason. Do you have 2 kids currently?
Yes.
Are you thinking about having another one?
No.
Okay. I don't feel like this child has been lost, though. You didn't lose a child, correct?
Yeah.
Oh, you did. Interesting, because this child does not feel lost. They feel like they're coming back. Hold on. I think that's the whole message. And that actually happens more often than not. Definitely, if you decide that you're going to have another child, the soul of the child that you lost is the soul that will be coming back to you. Because Grandpa's just showing me that he's like holding the baby, and it just feels like this is an option. This child could be coming here. And right away he let me know 2 living kids and 1 that could be coming. Slow down. He's packing like everybody's going on a trip. Slow down. Yep, I don't know why. Did you guys just come back from somewhere, or you're going somewhere? Because he's showing me packing suitcases.
Well, we don't live where all our family is, so we tend to go there every 3 months. And we just went there for Christmas.
And you're going back again soon.
Yeah.
Because he's like showing me packing suitcases and telling me he's going with you. And then I'm seeing my symbol for appreciation. There's that how grateful he is that you guys participate with the family this much. He's like showing me pulling all the family together. He's like, I got a good bunch.
Yeah.
Who's the smoker on the other side? I'm not sure if this is somebody new coming in or if this is him, but I'm smelling a lot of cigarette smoke.
That'd be my grandpa.
Okay, so he's letting us know that he's here as well. He's more, I would say, calm and reserved because he just kind of sits back and I can smell the cigarette smoke before I even notice him. He's like, I'm just listening. I'm here.
Yeah.
He's letting me know that he definitely feels better on the other side.
Yeah.
When I asked him how he passed, he's like, I don't know. He's like, I just didn't feel good one day, and I never felt good again until I got to this side. Slow it down, slow it down. He's definitely acknowledging the lady, so I would say his wife. Is your grandmother still here?
Yes.
That would be why he's acknowledging her. Hold on. He's showing me the cross, which is my symbol for faith. Is your grandmother very much a lady of faith? Whatever
Yes.
religion that might be, she's a
Oh,
lady of faith.
not religious.
Just, okay, hold on. I'm not sure why he's bringing this up so specifically. It's almost like if when he passed, okay, the way he's bringing this up is he shows me the cross, which is my symbol for somebody of faith. He places it in his wife's hands and he's like, it's okay, it's okay. And I'm like, well, what is it? What is this? What do you mean it's okay? And I feel like he almost had like a religious burial, or that his funeral was like done religiously almost, maybe not religiously, but very spiritually. And I don't know if he was like the most spiritual person in the world. And so he's like, it's okay, I don't mind. And it's either that or it's flipped, that he was extremely spiritual and they didn't do it as spiritually as he would have expected. But either way, he's saying it's okay. It's one of those I can't even talk today. You know what I mean. Something about his funeral that was done that we might not think that might have been his wishes, but he's like, it's okay, it's okay.
The one that smoked, we didn't do anything because he didn't want anything done.
There we go. Okay. So that's exactly would make sense, because like I was saying, it's almost like if I can't talk while you're talking to me. Give me a second. Okay, so the way that the symbols were coming through was that if somebody was like here was very spiritual and they did things differently against that, so to make him happy. Do you know what I mean?
Yeah.
But there's definitely acknowledgement of this being okay. It's okay. I'm on the other side. You don't have to worry. Just because we didn't do that doesn't mean that I didn't get here. And I feel like he's sticking his tongue out like, and I can smoke all I want over here and nobody's telling me not to. He definitely goes to Grandma and he acknowledges the move, or the move of house, or whatever this is. He's showing me the symbol for the house, which is my symbol when there's somebody's either thinking of moving, just moved, or renovations or something going on in the house.
My grandma actually moved like about a year ago.
There we go. So he's validating that it doesn't tell. He's like, you tell her no matter where she goes, I'm still there. He's literally sitting in a chair beside her, like almost as if he had a special chair.
He did?
He just sat down beside her. He's like, you just let her know that I'm still here.
Yeah.
He rubs her legs, so when they rub the legs, that's usually my indication for either a mobility issue or some pain in the legs. But he's like, you better get used to it, honey, because you're not going anywhere anytime soon. Do you know if she struggled with some leg pain recently?
She got a knee replacement.
I
She's
see.
going for her knee replacement.
There you go. So, and I guess this is his way of letting her know that this is going to build a lot of years onto her life, because he wanted to reassure her and say, you're not going anywhere anytime soon.
Yeah.
Sort of. He like kissed her cheek and said happy birthday, and I feel like it's coming up, like I would say in spring or within the next month or two.
March 4th.
There we go. So please let her know that his spirit is still with her. He's like thanking you for even calling today.
Yeah.
Almost like people
I'm totally
Oh,
say,
gonna have to share this.
yeah. But the way he's thanking you is like, screw them. Like somebody told you either you're never going to get through or it's a big crock of whatever, and you know what I mean? And he's like, yeah, whatever. He's like, look I'm here.
Yeah.
He just kissed your cheek and he's pulling his energy back. It's interesting, as they back up, I see all of the spirit that came forward today kind of join hands before they go back behind that curtain. So letting you know that they're all together on the other side.
Yeah.
I hope that was helpful.
Yeah, it was, for sure.
Awesome. You have a wonderful day. You're
You
welcome.
too.
Okay, bye-bye. Hello?
Hello?
Hi? Hello?
Hello?
Hi?
Hi,
Were you calling for the free readings?
I am
Awesome. Okay, so what is your first name?
Kayla.
Kayla?
Yeah.
Okay. So, Kayla, I'm going to get you to do the grounding exercise as well, if you don't mind. So if I could get you to sit somewhere where your feet are flat on the ground, and then I would like you to take a deep breath, but picture that deep breath starting at your big toe, slowly bringing it all the way up through your body, and then blow it straight through the phone at me, and then just give me 1 minute to focus. So you definitely have a couple of people step forward right away. Both very different. Give me a second here. So there is a mother figure energy that steps forward, just immediately steps forward, wraps her arms around your neck, and like gives you the biggest hug. And she's like, "Of course I'm here. Of course I'm here. Of course I'm here." She takes me to the head, which is my symbol for either stroke, aneurysm, Alzheimer's, dementia, or some type of communication issue. And she's showing me my symbol for distance, which it either means that she's been on the other side for a very long time or that she lived some distance away from you before she passed away. Do you know?
My great aunt just passed away.
Okay.
And she lived a few hours away.
And how would she relate to the head?
She had something. So what I just found out was that she had a complication with a medication.
Okay.
And then they resuscitated her and she had no brain activity.
There we go. Okay. So this is definitely her stepping forward. She's like very motherly though, like very grandma gushy almost. Like, "Oh my God, I love you. It's so good to see you. Of course I would be here. Of course I would be here."
She's my grandma's twin sister.
Aww. Okay, so hold on. Slow it down. So, but what she showed me was holding your grandmother's hand. So is your grandmother also on the other side?
Yes.
Okay, because as soon as you said that, she just showed me immediately holding the hand. She's like, "She's right here." And I'm like, "Oh my goodness, she hadn't stepped forward before." It's like, does this mean she's passed? Okay, so this is your grandmother's way of coming forward as well. It's interesting. For me, it feels a little backwards because it feels like your grandmother's been there longer than your aunt has.
She has.
And yet your aunt came forward first. Interesting.
Yeah. I just spoke at her funeral yesterday.
Oh, at your aunt's funeral?
Yes.
That's why she's here first. Okay. So hold on. So a couple of things. Did you also sing at her funeral?
Not willingly, but yes.
All I know is she just put a microphone underneath you and said, "It was beautiful, darling. Thank you." So if you refuse to sing normally when you go to these things and you did for her in her honor, just know that she knows about that and she's thankful.
Good. I don't think anyone else was.
Aw. Okay, so hold on a sec. So the grandmother figure, she kind of sits up straight and she takes a deep breath. And so there's something to do with sitting up straight. Like she really wants me to know that she can sit up straight and move around now, and that she can breathe free and clear on the other side.
That makes a lot of sense.
Okay. What does the sitting up straight mean?
She always was in like a dining room chair, but it was one of the ones that kind of like could swivel and stuff, so it leaned back a bit. So she was always slouching in that chair.
I see. Isn't that funny? She's like, look, I'm all straightened out on this side. She very much, I feel like, wants to acknowledge your mom. This is your mom's mom?
My dad's mom.
Interesting. Because she goes right to your mom and she puts the white blanket around her shoulders, which is my symbol.
Stepmom?
It could be. Could very much be. Because
It would make more sense for my stepmom.
Okay, because all I know is this, she goes to the lady above you that's in the mom kind of category, and she puts the white blanket around her shoulders, meaning that there's a health or a stress issue, and that she's watching over her on the other side.
Yep, that makes 110% for Tammy.
Okay, that was interesting. Everybody just kind of cleared the room, and this gentleman stepped forward, and he's like, I'm the main event. That's kind of how he puts it. Hold on a second. So, he shows me the all over body symbol, which would mean that he's pain free on the other side. He definitely makes me feel like he's a little bit younger than the other people that came forward. Hold on a second. Slow it down, slow it down. He takes deep breaths. He can breathe free and clear on the other side. But he's like telling me to hurry it up. Go for it. I got to get this message through. You got to tell her this. Like, she knows who I am. We don't even have to go any further. And then I just see in capital letters, Dad. Is your dad on the other side, hun?
Yep.
Okay. He's showing me paperwork, and he's showing me my symbol for communication. And hold on a second. Slow this down, slow this down. That was confusing. I don't know how to explain this, but he's showing me paperwork, and then I feel like there's some kind of challenge within this paperwork. It doesn't exactly feel like a lawsuit, but it's like, I don't even know how to explain this. Like, I got a piece of mail or something that just made my heart sink. There's something to do with a piece of paper that made my heart sink. And then he's like taking two people and putting them together and talking about communication, and that we have to work together, and that he's like, basically, it's almost, I think it's almost like if he's talking about a will or something, like something that's left behind. He's talking about that he made his wishes known, and that he expects follow through and cooperation. Does any of this make any sense to you?
A little bit. Me and my mom don't always see eye to eye, but I think that's who he's trying to put in the room together.
What is specifically about this paper? Is there some kind of miscommunication about the will or something like this?
I think so.
Okay. As soon as you say that, he shows me the privacy symbol. He goes, say no more. Other than, I'm with you both. I love you both, and we'll figure this out together. Okay, interesting. He's talking about, I feel like this would be schooling. Hold on, slow it down. I don't know if you just finished schooling and maybe didn't get the marks that you wanted to get or something, because he's like, you know what? Lesson learned. Focus. Almost like you left all the studying to the very end. Are you in school right now?
I just did my provincial exam and I failed by 5%.
There we go. So he's letting you know that the only reason that happened is because you didn't study until the very end. Slow it down. And then he's like, you can't blame her. He's like, too much stress, too much stress, too much stress. But you got this.
Yeah, we bought a house like 3 weeks before my exam.
Damn. That is stress. Because there's an encouragement to keep going. He's like, don't you stop, I'll kick your butt. He's like, you know my expectations, you know my wishes, you keep going, you can do this. He's like, I believe in you. That was interesting. So he just showed me, so he's kind of wrapping it up, but all of the women that are on the other side, there's like 4 women that just surrounded him, and he goes, oh dear Lord, now what am I gonna do? There, I feel like he's surrounded by a bunch of women on the other side.
Yeah, my dad, mom, her twin sister, and then their 2 other sisters.
That's funny. They must have been some funny sisters, because the way he's being sarcastic and joking about, oh dear God, I'm surrounded now.
Yep, that makes 100% sense.
I'm not sure what this means, but I just saw a pumpkin and a thank you symbol. So I don't know if that thank you for Halloween. Like, this is where I say I don't understand the symbols until somebody else validates them, because that's all he keeps showing me is the pumpkin and the thank you symbol.
Yeah, he was a big Halloween fiend.
And did you do something to honor him at Halloween or something?
Yeah, we did one last hurrah.
There we go. So he wants you to know that it was awesome and he's thankful.
Perfect.
He's starting to pull his energy back. He's also showing me a pregnancy test. I feel like the pregnancy test is negative, but I feel like it was a bit of a scare. It's like as he's pulling his energy back, there's a feeling of like, well, if you don't want to get pregnant yet, then you better be careful. Did you just have a pregnancy scare?
Yeah, we weren't sure.
He's like,
but it wasn't a big deal. We weren't overly concerned about it.
He's like, he's stressing that he wants you to make sure that the timing is right, because there is a child that can come anytime. I can definitely feel that soul that's there ready to come. However, it feels like the timing's not quite right yet, that you've got, I don't know if this is like a little more schooling to get through first before the timing is right, but he's like, be smart. You got this. Be smart. And he's starting to pull his energy back again. I hope that was helpful.
That was great. Thank you.
You're very welcome. You take care.
Bye.
Okay, bye-bye.
Bye.
Okay, guys, that's all the calls that I'm going to be able to take today. My brain is a little bit mush, but actually I'm feeling a little bit better than I was today. Sometimes when there's so much spirit coming through, I can't even think straight. So thank you guys all for being here. I will, like I said, I'll try to be back again next Tuesday. If I'm not going to be able to, I will let you know, because the house is going to be all packed up and whatnot. So we'll see how that goes. But we'll play it by ear, and thank you guys all for being here. I'll see you soon.